Hi, in this video, I'm going to be giving a quick update on whether I believe phone farms are worth it or not. And I'll show you what apps worked for me, what didn't work for me, and my final conclusions on whether or not phone farms can be profitable. I'm Vince from Digital Nomad Institute, and let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to go over real quick is what is a phone farm. And basically, a phone farm is a whole bunch of phones, a collection of old phones that are used to make money by running paid apps or paid apps that basically give you a small amount of money to do certain things, whether it's to check in or to do surveys. Each phone alone doesn't really make that much from my testing. You can maybe expect around $3 if you stack several apps onto one phone. And, but if you buy a lot of phones in bulk, let's say it's only $3 per phone, but if you buy 10 phones, you make $30. Then by stacking it, you can increase your passive income in theory. Okay. So one of the apps that you can use to make some money with your phone is CryptoTab, and this is one I was testing out in the past, and I just want to give a quick update on it. So from my testing, you can maybe max out at roughly $1.50 in crypto per month, and that's USD. Now the downside to it is you have to check in 5 times a day. You can check in around 7 or 8 at max, but I don't count sleeping, so around 5 times. And then here's the downside. It originally ran on Android 5.0, I believe, but now it's you can only run on Android 6.0 and up. And the right now the current status is I'm still waiting to get paid. I haven't reached the payout limit yet, but as soon as I do, I will definitely let you know and keep you posted on it. Another app that I was testing out for my phone farm experiment was an app called CointoPly. It also plays in crypto, and you can make points or crypto cash in several ways. One is where you can actually check in, but that doesn't really pay much. You can watch videos, that doesn't really pay much either, and you can watch ads. And the same, it just really doesn't pay much, and it doesn't really make it worth it. So the thing I don't really like about CointoPly is that in the beginning they'll play let's say quite generously for. I think the main thing I did was play games, and at first it's like maybe 1 cent per 10 minutes, and then it goes to 1 cent per 1 hour, then 1 cent per 3 hours, and then 1 cent per 7 hours. So, the rate that you get isn't consistent, and it really doesn't make it worth it. When it comes in the effort and all the things that you have to do, you have to install certain games or take these really long surveys. It's not worth it, So that's my update on CointoPly. You can try it if you want. Maybe they pay better in your part of the world. But where I'm at, it doesn't really pay that well. Okay, so now that I've gone over, some of the apps that make money with with your phone, and I've explained what a phone farm is, I'm also going to explain why, in my opinion, I don't believe a phone farm is worth it. The first reason is that it's very high risk. So in order to make, let's say, $3 per phone, per month, you would have to, pay for a $20 phone. Now, if you, run it for several months, obviously you can get your money back and then some. But here's, the kicker. This which leads me to my next point, is that a lot of these programs, they just go out of business. They don't pay. I mean, it's almost like a seasonal thing. Sometimes they come in, they pay a lot, and then all of a sudden they pay a little bit, and then all of a sudden they fade away. So, let's say hypothetically you bought, 20 phones to make $3 a month off each phone, and all of a sudden one app doesn't pay. Now you're down to $1.50 per phone, and then that app doesn't pay, or that app just disappears. So, it's kind of risky. It's almost like a casino type of thing, in my opinion. Now, maybe in other parts of the world they pay better, but in Southeast Asia they don't really pay that well. The next thing I want to talk about is that the phone that you use often will be subjected to something called battery bloat. And the phone that I tested it on 3 phones when I first was trying these different apps. And one phone just straight up died, and it was because the battery, I think, overheated, and it basically got really, really like large, and I had to remove it. And that's like, $10, $20 to replace. So that's another thing that you have to worry about is battery bloat, and maybe like a fire hazard. Now, obviously, there are ways to set this up, but then again, you're investing more money. The last point I want to make is that a lot of these paid apps, whether it's paid survey apps or check-in apps, they require a lot of time for too little pay. Now, yeah, you can argue that it only takes you a few seconds to maybe check in, and therefore, you're getting paid a lot. But here's the thing. They're getting all these paid apps are getting increasingly harder to earn from. So, for example, CryptoTab, requires you to check in 5 times a day. Now, what happens if you forget? Like, you have a life and you have to do certain things. You can't just stand by and, babysit your phone and make sure you check in like 20 phones or 30 phones 5 times a day. I don't think it's practical. Or let's say you want to, you want to play a game on CointoPly or take a survey. These surveys are really, really long, and it's like a 30-minute survey, some of them, or 20-minute survey, and you only get paid like pennies. It's not really worth it. There's much more efficient ways of making money that doesn't require you to risk a lot of capital just to, and you have to do work. It's not really passive. Just to maybe make a few pennies and maybe a few dollars per phone. So all in all, I just don't think it was worth it for me. Maybe it's worth it for other people. I mean, you do what works for you in your part of the world. But I just want to put out information out there so that, people who are thinking about this like me can at least have some kind of information to go on, or something to at least consider before starting some kind of venture like this. Because I don't really see too much of information about this out there. So I just want to put it out there, and I hope it was helpful. And if it was, could you please hit that like button? I'm Vince from Digital Nomad Institute, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.